For 15 years, Universal Orlando was the home to Nickelodeon Studios. In this episode of Theme Park History, we will discuss just a few of the more popular shows filmed there during what many people believe was Nickelodeon's golden age. Before Universal opened on June 7, 1990, Nickelodeon Studios created a partnership with the theme park in 1988. In April 1989, the first show to be filmed in their sound stages was Super Sloppy Double Dare, hosted by Mark Summers. This show consisted of two teams competing for cash and prizes by answering trivia questions, then participating in physical challenges and stunts. In 1990, the show returned as Family Double Dare with some specials thrown in. Production on this season wrapped on July 24, 1992, with Nick showing reruns and older shows from before the Universal partnership began. Double Dare 2000 brought the show back to the sound stages on January 5, 2000, with a new host, Jason Harris. Mark Summers would be an executive consultant on production. The series was concluded on November 10, 2000, and, you guessed it, was revived again in 2012. But this time at the Nickelodeon Suites Resort as Double Dare Live, and off of Universal property at this point. Double Dare remains Nickelodeon's longest-running game show. Because of Double Dare's popularity, Nickelodeon produced other game shows like What Would You Do and Legends of the Hidden Temple that incorporated stunts and trivia. Something interesting to note about Mark Summers is that he suffered from obsessive-compulsive disorder. He has said, "All that OCD stuff has been blown out of proportion. I dealt with what I dealt with. I wasn't going to let my OCD screw up my opportunity to host the kind of show I had always wanted to host. Yes, I have it. Yes, I lived through it, but I never let it affect the show in any way, shape, or form." Later on in Nickelodeon's history, the stunts were mainly getting slimed or pied in the face, like on Slime Time Live and Nickelodeon Splat, which would be the last show produced on location at Nickelodeon Studios in 2005. Slime Time Live holds the Guinness World Record for the most people pied in the face under 3 minutes, 1,000, and most people slimed in one place, 762. From 1991 until 1994, Clarissa Explains It All was also recorded at Nickelodeon sound stages. This sitcom had Clarissa speaking to the camera and breaking the fourth wall. It was also the first Nick series to have a female lead and held popularity with all genders. The show was even nominated for an Emmy in 1994 for Outstanding Children's Program. One of the staff's writers, Suzanne Collins, had major success later with her book series, The Hunger Games. Clarissa's popularity helped pave the way for another female lead show, The Mystery Files of Shelby Woo. The first 3 seasons of Shelby Woo were filmed at Nick Studios from 1996 until 1998. The role of Shelby Woo was played by Irene Ng, who was the second Asian actress to be cast as the lead role in an American TV series ever. As the title suggests, she would solve mysteries around Cocoa Beach while living with her grandfather. After a union dispute, the last season was filmed in Montreal. Nickelodeon started to gear its shows to specific audiences with Nickelodeon Guts and Nick Arcade. Guts was a sports competition series hosted by Mike O'Malley that ran from 1992 until 1995. 3 contestants compete in extreme versions of skills in popular sports to win points in each event. The winner with the most points gets a gold Guts medal and a glowing piece of the Aggro Crag, which they had to give back after filming. At 28 feet high, the Aggro Crag, as it was known in the first 2 seasons, was a fabricated mountain that had the contestants climb while hitting buttons along the way. There were as many as 3 shows filmed each day. Eventually, the show's popularity paved the way for many spin-offs, including Global Guts for the final season, which had contestants from around the world competing for the medal. Nick Arcade, hosted by Phil Moore, catered to the video game crowd. 2 teams answered trivia questions, with the winner advancing to the Video Zone to play against the virtual video game wizard. Combining video game trivia with contestant interactive VR, Nick Arcade ran for 2 seasons with 84 episodes under its belt. Co-creator James Bethia said, "What was amazing about our set on Nick Arcade was the thing people didn't get to see, the scale. 10,000 square feet and half of our soundstage was dedicated to blue screen sets. At one time we had the largest blue screen set that had ever been built." The games featured in video challenges were for NES, Super Nintendo, Genesis, and Neo Geo. Bethia also said the video zone answered the question of couch potato problems. It was very physical. By far, one of the most popular shows was All That, a sketch comedy show for kids by kids. The show lasted 10 seasons, but only the first 2 were filmed in the Nick soundstages in Orlando. The show was just like a kid's version of Saturday Night Live, with its cold opening and the news-like segment Vital Information, similar to Weekend Update. Keenan has said, "I got lucky because I was named after myself for my entire Nickelodeon career. It's very clearly me and not necessarily a super stretch outside of my character." All That was shot in front of a live studio audience and ended each show with a musical guest. Several spin-off shows were created with cast from All That, including Kenan and Kel, which also shot its first 2 seasons at the soundstages as well. The intro to Kenan and Kel was shot entirely on Universal Studios property, which makes for a fun watch today. The cast would enjoy the rides and junk food at Universal in between takes. At the end of season 2, the show moved to Hollywood, California, with some cast changes being made. Kenan and Kel Mitchell are also currently producing an All That revival show. Figure It Out was hosted by Summer Sanders and ran from 1997 to 1999, with 4 seasons. This show had panelists, usually from other Nick shows, trying to figure out special talents kids had by asking yes or no questions. Sometimes the panelists would get slimed if they performed the secret slime action. If this were to happen, a contestant in the audience would win a prize, which could be video game systems, Figure It Out merchandise, or even a set piece from Legends of the Hidden Temple. In its last retitled season, Figure It Out Wild Style focused only on talents involving animals. Figure It Out would have new seasons after 2012. These shows are just a few of what was filmed in Orlando. For the full list, please make sure to check out the links in the description box below. By 2002, Nickelodeon Studios wanted to film solely in LA and not have all of the crew and talent fly out to Florida. The budget was not being met 7 days a week to keep Universal happy either. Nickelodeon had gradually started moving all live-action shows to be filmed out in Hollywood. This caused the backstage tours to become shorter with less production being seen. Soundstages 18 and 19 were vacated by Nickelodeon on April 30th, 2005, with the trademark sign on the building being removed in January 2006. Universal announced on November 9th, 2006 that Soundstage 18 would be redesigned for a permanent venue for the Blue Man Group, where performances still occur today. And that's the theme park history of some popular Nick shows filmed inside of Universal Studios Florida. Got an idea for a future episode? Leave a comment down below and subscribe for more theme park content.